Trust is a foundation upon which relationships, businesses, and even civilizations are built. It is not something to be given away carelessly. The people you choose to trust will influence your growth, your success, and ultimately your happiness. But just as there are those who lift you up, there are others who will tear you down, whether through deceit, betrayal, or manipulation. If you are to navigate this world with strength and wisdom, you must recognize the people you should never trust, no matter what. The first type is the habitual liar. These individuals do not just lie when they must, they lie when they don't have to. They lie about insignificant things, about stories that don't matter. And if they can lie about the trivial, they can and will lie about the significant. Their version of reality shifts depending on what benefits them most in the moment. And if you let yourself be ensnared by their words, you will one day find yourself betrayed in ways you never saw coming. Trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, whether personal, professional, or social. It is the glue that binds people together, allowing them to feel secure and valued. But when trust is repeatedly broken, it becomes impossible to rebuild. That is why the habitual liar is one of the most dangerous people you can ever encounter. This is not someone who lies out of necessity or fear in an extreme situation. This is a person who lies for sport, for convenience, or to manipulate. They do not just distort the truth when under pressure, they bend reality as a habit, making it impossible to know where they stand or what they truly believe. A habitual liar is not just dishonest, they are unpredictable. You cannot rely on them because their words are not tied to reality. They say what benefits them at the moment without concern for long-term consequences. One day they might flatter you, tell you everything you want to hear, make you feel like you are special. The next, they could deny ever saying those words, rewrite history, and leave you questioning your own memory. This kind of manipulation is subtle at first, but over time, it erodes your sense of trust, not just in them, but in people as a whole. What makes this person even more dangerous is that they often disguise their lies under the mask of charm, kindness, or even innocence. They may appear well-intentioned, making excuses for their dishonesty, blaming circumstances, or even making you feel guilty for doubting them. But the truth remains, if someone can lie effortlessly about the small things, they will lie about the big things. A person who is not committed to truth is capable of any deception. You must be vigilant. It is not your responsibility to fix a habitual liar or to convince them to be honest. That is a battle they must fight within themselves. But you do have a responsibility to yourself to protect your peace, to set boundaries, and to recognize that trust is sacred. Once it is broken repeatedly, the only wise choice is to walk away. Because the moment you accept dishonesty, you allow it to poison your life, and you deserve better than that. Loyalty is one of the most valuable qualities a person can possess. It is the invisible thread that holds relationships, friendships, and partnerships together. But not everyone values loyalty the way you do. Some people see it as a convenience rather than a commitment, something they uphold only when it serves their interests. These are the betrayers, the ones who turn their backs when you need them most, who smile to your face but whisper behind your back, who make promises with no intention of keeping them, and if you are not careful, they can leave a lasting scar on your life. The betrayer does not always reveal themselves immediately. They are not always the obvious villain. In fact, they are often someone close to you, someone you have confided in, trusted, and believed in. And that is what makes their betrayal so painful. It is not the action itself that wounds the most, but the realization that they never valued you the way you valued them, that they were willing to throw away years of trust for their own benefit, that they chose their selfish desires over the loyalty and respect you gave them. It is easy to become bitter when you have been betrayed, to let anger consume you, to seek revenge, to allow their actions to change the way you see the world. But that is not the answer. Their betrayal is a reflection of who they are, not who you are. It is a weakness in their character, not a flaw in yours. And while it hurts, while it may shake your faith in people, it should never make you doubt your own worth. You must learn from it. You must recognize that not everyone who walks beside you is truly with you, that some people only stay when things are easy but vanish the moment things become difficult, that words mean nothing without actions to back them up, and most importantly, you must understand that losing a betrayer is never really a loss. It is a blessing in disguise. Because when someone shows you they are willing to betray you, believe them. Do not give them another chance to do it again. Instead, use that pain to grow stronger. Learn to set boundaries, to choose your inner circle wisely, to trust actions over words. Surround yourself with those who prove their loyalty through consistency, not convenience. And never allow the betrayal of one person to make you lose faith in the goodness of others. The right people exist. The ones who will stand by you no matter what, who will defend you in rooms where you are not present, who will value loyalty as much as you do. But you will never find them if you continue holding on to those who have already shown you they are not worthy of your trust. Betrayal is painful, but it is also a lesson in strength, in discernment, in self-respect. Let the betrayer go. Let them deal with the consequences of their own choices. And move forward knowing that your loyalty is a gift, one that should only be given to those who truly deserve it. The manipulator is one of the most dangerous people you will ever encounter. They do not attack you directly, nor do they show their true intentions up front. Instead, they work behind the scenes, twisting reality, bending your emotions, and making you question your own instincts. They do not force you into bad decisions. They guide you there so subtly that you believe it was your own choice. And by the time you realize what has happened, they have already taken what they wanted and left you with the consequences. Manipulators come in many forms. Some use guilt, making you feel like you owe them something, like you are selfish for setting boundaries or standing up for yourself. Others play the victim, painting themselves as helpless so that you lower your defenses and give them your time, your energy, or even your forgiveness when they do not deserve it. Some use charm and flattery to win your trust, only to use that trust as a tool to control you. And some are more aggressive, twisting your words, making you doubt your own memory, and keeping you in a constant state of confusion so that they always have the upper hand. The biggest weapon of a manipulator is your empathy. They know you do not want to hurt others, that you want to be kind, that you want to be understanding. So they exploit that kindness, turning it into a weakness rather than a strength. They push your limits, take advantage of your good nature, and leave you drained while they walk away with exactly what they wanted. And if you are not careful, you will find yourself caught in a cycle, constantly giving, constantly justifying their actions, constantly wondering why you feel so exhausted every time they are around. But here is the truth. Real relationships, whether friendships, family, or love, are built on mutual respect, not control. If someone is making you feel guilty for saying no, if they are twisting your words to make you doubt yourself, if they are using your kindness against you, then they are not someone you need in your life. Walking away from a manipulator is not selfish, it is survival. It is reclaiming your power, your peace, and your ability to make decisions for yourself without being influenced by someone who does not have your best interests at heart. You do not owe your loyalty to someone who only sees you as a tool for their own gain. You do not have to keep explaining yourself to someone who is committed to misunderstanding you. You are not responsible for fixing them, changing them, or proving your worth to them. The only way to win against a manipulator is to stop playing their game. The moment you see the signs, step back, trust your instincts, protect your energy, and remember that the right people, the ones who truly care, will never need to control you to keep you close. Envy is a quiet, destructive force that can turn even the closest of friends into hidden enemies. The envious one is not always the loudest critic or the most obvious adversary. In fact, they often disguise themselves as supporters, pretending to cheer you on while secretly resenting your progress. They may smile in front of you, but behind closed doors, they are waiting for you to fail. They are not angry at your mistakes, they are frustrated when you succeed. And that kind of person is dangerous. The envious one does not want to improve their own life. Instead, they focus on yours, comparing, measuring, and resenting every step forward you take. They do not ask, how can I grow? They ask, why do they have what I don't? Their bitterness is not about you, it is about their own dissatisfaction with themselves. But instead of doing the hard work of self-improvement, they direct their frustration toward you. They diminish your achievements, downplay your efforts, and sometimes even sabotage you to make themselves feel better. You must learn to recognize this energy. You will notice it in the subtle ways they respond to your success. They may not congratulate you when you accomplish something meaningful. They may shift conversations away from your progress or mock your ambition. When you struggle, they suddenly show interest, not to help, but to feel superior. And when you rise again, their attitude shifts once more, filled with passive-aggressive remarks or forced indifference. Do not let their bitterness become your burden. The envious one will try to make you feel guilty for what you have worked hard for. They will try to pull you down so they do not have to face the fact that they have not put in the same effort. But their envy is not your responsibility. Your success is not something you should shrink to make others comfortable. You do not need to dim your light so that someone else does not feel overshadowed. The best response to envy is to keep growing. Keep succeeding, keep pushing forward, and do not waste time trying to convince them to celebrate with you. The people who truly support you will be proud, inspired, and motivated by your achievements. The envious one will only be irritated. Let that be your sign to distance yourself. Surround yourself with people who want to win alongside you, not those who secretly hope you lose. You are not responsible for their resentment. You are responsible for becoming everything you are meant to be. The perpetual victim is someone who refuses to take control of their own life. And they live in a cycle of blame, always pointing fingers at others, circumstances, or the past to justify why they are stuck. They will tell you their hardships, their misfortunes, and every unfair thing that has ever happened to them. But what they will not tell you is what they are doing to change their situation. Because the truth is, they do not want change. They want sympathy. This type of person drains energy from those around them. They come to you with problems, expecting you to listen, to comfort, to validate their pain. And at first you might feel compassion. You might want to help, to give advice, to show them a way forward. But over time you begin to notice something: they never take action. No matter how many solutions you offer, no matter how much encouragement you give, they always have an excuse. They remain stuck because deep down they do not want solutions, they want attention. You have to recognize this pattern before it pulls you in. The perpetual victim will make you feel responsible for their happiness. They will make you feel guilty for setting boundaries. They will expect you to be their emotional support, their rescuer, their therapist, but nothing you do will ever be enough. Because their identity is built around struggle, and if they let go of their pain, they fear they will have nothing left. Do not let their negativity consume you. It is not your job to carry someone who refuses to walk. You can be kind, you can be understanding, but you cannot allow yourself to be drained by someone who does not want to change. There is a difference between helping someone who is trying and enabling someone who is choosing to remain a victim. Real strength comes from taking responsibility. Life is unfair, challenges come, and hardships happen. But those who rise above do so because they refuse to stay down. If someone in your life is always playing the victim, always expecting others to save them, it is time to step back. You cannot fight their battles for them. You cannot force them to take control. The only thing you can do is refuse to participate in their cycle. Let them see that the world does not stop for their excuses, and maybe, just maybe, They will find the strength to stand on their own. The overpromiser is the person who tells you everything you want to hear but never follows through. They make big promises with ease, offering commitment, support, and grand gestures, but when the time comes to act, they disappear. Their words are filled with enthusiasm, but their actions are empty. And yet, people keep trusting them, believing that this time will be different, that maybe they just need another chance. But the truth is, the overpromiser is not struggling to keep their word. They never intended to in the first place. This kind of person thrives on attention. They enjoy the admiration that comes with making promises. They like being seen as reliable, as someone who can be counted on. But they are not driven by integrity. They are driven by the temporary feeling of importance. They do not think about the impact of their broken commitments. They do not consider how their empty words affect others. To them, making the promise is enough. Following through is optional. Overpromisers are dangerous because they give false hope. They lead people to believe that they can be depended on, only to let them down when it matters most. They waste your time, your energy, and your trust, and over time their pattern of broken promises leaves you disappointed, frustrated, and questioning yourself. But understand this: when someone repeatedly fails to keep their word, it is not your fault for believing in them. It is their failure to live with honesty and discipline. You cannot build a strong life around people who do not honor their commitments. Trust is not about words, it is about action. When someone tells you they will do something, watch what happens next. Do they follow through? Do they take responsibility? Or do they make excuses, delay, and act as if their broken promise does not matter? Hold people accountable for their actions, not their words. If someone consistently overpromises and underdelivers, it is time to stop expecting them to change. Some people are addicted to making commitments they will never keep, but you do not have to be a victim of their behavior. Surround yourself with people who show up, who follow through, and who take their responsibilities seriously. Because in the end, actions will always speak louder than promises. The secretly resentful person is one of the most dangerous people to have in your life because their negativity is hidden beneath a mask. They pretend to support you, they smile when you succeed, and they act like they are on your side. But deep down, they are waiting for the moment you stumble. They do not celebrate your victories, they tolerate them. They do not admire your growth, they envy it. And while they may never say it outright, their resentment is always lurking beneath the surface. This kind of person is difficult to spot because they do not openly attack you. Instead, they undermine you subtly. They give backhanded compliments, downplay your achievements, and dismiss your hard work as luck. They act distant when you accomplish something great and overly enthusiastic when you face setbacks. Their words may sound supportive, but their energy tells a different story. You feel it in their tone, in the way they look at you, in the way they suddenly become unavailable when you need them most. The secretly resentful person is not angry at you. They are angry at themselves. Your success is a mirror reflecting everything they feel they lack. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Your resilience exposes their weakness, and instead of using that discomfort to fuel their own development, they allow it to turn into bitterness. But resentment is a slow poison, and while they think they are directing it at you, they are the ones who suffer the most. You cannot change these people. No amount of kindness, humility, or reassurance will make them genuinely happy for you. If someone resents your progress, it is not your job to shrink yourself to make them feel comfortable. Do not apologize for your ambition. Do not downplay your success. The right people will celebrate with you. The wrong people will resent you for reminding them of what they are too afraid to chase. Pay attention to the energy people bring into your life. Surround yourself with those who uplift, support, and encourage. If someone secretly resents you, do not engage in their silent competition. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and let them sit in the discomfort of their own unfulfilled potential. Your progress is not the problem. Their mindset is.